All right. Hello, I'm Dr. Megan Miller,
And I'm Joe Smith.
and this is We'll Decide Wednesday, which is a special feature of the Do Better podcast. Joe, I'm super excited because we have several guests with us today that are watching us film this live. So,
I know.
welcome everyone.
Welcome, guys. And it's super exciting that we have guests with us live. As you got, I like having that live feeling. I like people interacting with me while we're talking about different subjects. So should be a lot of fun.
Yes, we have, I should clarify, we have like live video guests inside of Zoom, and then we also have our live Facebook folks. So thank you everyone for joining us and watching. I am going to go ahead and spin the wheel. While I do that, Joe, do you want to explain, because we might have some new people watching, what exactly we're doing here?
All right. So what we're doing here for We'll Decide Wednesday is a special feature of the Do Better podcast. And we decided to let a wheel decide what we're going to talk about instead of us deciding what we're going to talk about. So these topics have been selected through by different viewers, by Megan and I. And the best thing about this is Megan and I do not know what's going to be what the spinner is going to land on. So we did not prepare for this. We do not have any idea whatsoever what we're going to say. So yeah, that's just, set my anxiety to a whole nother level, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So let's
And
go
it's a
ahead.
real challenge to get me to only talk for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So,
Oh yeah. I mean, like if you know Megan and I mean, we can talk. Um, Megan definitely can talk. I can talk definitely a lot and don't know when to stop. So
all right,
let's
let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Yeah.
yeah. Drum roll, please.
Beach or mountains? This should be a good one.
Good.
Yeah. And this is an easy one in the chat that people can just type in what their answer is. But if anyone wants to talk after Joe and I go, feel free to lay down your argument for one or the other. I don't remember, Joe, if you went first last time or if I did.
Last time it was about, you know what? I'll just be nice and I'll just go first.
Okay.
Sounds
like a
plan. So of course, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I have it up and my time starts now. So this is a really difficult one because I grew up in both. So I grew up in the mountains of Pennsylvania. No, the mountains in Pennsylvania is not as tall as here in Virginia, but they still are an important part of the Appalachian Trail. And I was a Boy Scout. I am an Eagle Scout. So I grew up around the mountains. However, every summer I got to go to the beach in Outer Banks. Ever since I was 14 till about 23, every summer I was at the beach with my family for a week. And it just so happened randomly that I made my way to the beach to live here. Now that I'm here, I am always screaming to go back to the mountains, to go hiking, to explore the outdoors. So this is a tough one because both is a really big piece of my heart. But I think if I had to choose anywhere, it would be the mountains, just for the fact that I love to hike, camp out. I love to go kayaking. That's a new thing for me. I love go fishing. So for me, the mountains is really where I grew up and, is a huge part of my heart. So, to me, it just makes more sense. And let's not even talk about how beautiful the views are in the mountains. And you can be on different mountains and have a different view and it be even more breathtaking. The beach, I feel like when you're at the beach, it's still the same. The water is pretty much the same. There might be some variations, but then you got the sand, which some variations, but the mountains, oh, that air, that the pine smell, the wildlife, um, all the things that you can do in the mountains, definitely speaks to me. And my time is done.
All right. Thanks, Joe. We have a lot of people chiming in the chat. So I'm going to go with, looks like the consensus, at least on the Zoom, is more towards the beach.
Okay.
We have quite a few people saying beach and like, I think only 2 people saying mountains, but Jenny on Facebook Live said mountains, and then my comments disappeared. So Kimberly said mountains. It looks like it's getting pretty even, that there's a pretty even split. Jean said that the beach is her favorite in the morning and early evening, but the mountains during the day to see the beauty and the coolness to the summer. To add, I would take a lake in the mountains. There we go, getting real specific. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and do mine. So yeah, I kind of like want to cheat a little bit here. Hands down, beach. Like that was one of the things when I traveled a lot in like 2018 and 2019 that Ryan O'Donnell would always complain about, because like pretty much everywhere we went, it was like beach. He's like, "Are you choosing these places just so you can go to a beach?" Yes, I am. No, it just so happened that that's like where we got invited to go. But I will. But it has to be very beautiful beaches. So like, I don't want to go to the Atlantic Ocean. I want the Gulf of Mexico. I want the Red Sea. I want things that are like blue, green, the Caribbean, like those types of things. If it's just like the boring, like brown Virginia beach, no thanks. So I'm very particular about my beach. But what I would like to do to hack this a little bit is say go somewhere where there's like the mountains and then the pretty beach. So like St. Lucia, where there's just like these enormous mountains, these like 2 Python thing, like mountains, and then this like amazing blue green beach and all of that kind of stuff. So that would be like the ideal, because I'm about the eye candy piece of it, like what the sensation is to my face. Like, oh my gosh, I just look and you just see all of this. So you look down and there's just all of this beautiful water. You look up and there's these towering mountains with greenery and all of that kind of stuff. I could take or leave mountains with snow. Like, that's not really my jam. But British Columbia, in like the Penticton area, there's these 2 big lakes and their water is just incredible. It's like, again, that like very clear crystal blue water, and then the mountains around there are just phenomenal. They have all 4 seasons. So you get like the fall leaves, you get the winter snow, but it's not like freezing cold like I grew up with in Ohio. And then you get like spring, so you get all of the like colors and all of that kind of stuff. So I would take like a combination like that, but I will never take mountains with no water. So if you're just trying to throw me in like Colorado or something, like that's just not gonna fly for me. It's not that like when I go there and visit, I don't like it, but I wouldn't want to like ever live there. And if I had to choose, a vacation opportunity, it would not be just to go like skiing or something like that. And my time is up. Stop. Okay. There we go. So Joe, do we have any chat? Does anybody want to volunteer to talk and like put forth your arguments about mountains or beach?
Megan, I do love how when asked to choose, you manage to incorporate both of them and get both of them anyway, right? Mountains out on a beach.
Yes. Yeah. And Erica mentioned earlier that she likes the beach, but not the sand. And I'm like exactly the same. I have, a 5-year-old, almost 1 month, and he'll be 5. And he just loves the sand. So I've gotten a lot more desensitized with like playing with him on the beach, but and I don't like going in the water really either, because when I was little, my dad took me in and I, swallowed a bunch of water. Like a big wave came and I swallowed a bunch of water and like threw up and thought I was going to die. So I'm not a big fan of swimming, but I will jump off of boats into the water.
So just to be clear, you would choose the beach, but don't like anything about the beach.
If it's
Just
pretty
teasing it out.
water, it's the water. I
The
like the
water and the
view.
sand you don't
Yeah.
like. So what are we
I
liking
like
about
what
the
I'm
beach?
visually seeing.
Okay.
And then Penny, you said you love the pine smell of the mountains.
Yeah, I always have to think of the Netherlands. The Netherlands has got a lot of forest, and what I love about the mountains is just the smell of pine. It's such a fresh, nice smell. Whereas the beach, it can have a nice smell, but I just really love the nice, fresh pine smell of mountain.
Yeah, the beach can kind of have a stinky smell sometimes
Can
too.
And Penny, you would love like Maine, because as soon as you hit the Maine line, you smell nothing but pine,
Yeah,
which is the most awesome like experience going to Maine, was just going across and just being in a completely different world. Um, and then here we don't have that at all. Like it's only in Maine, not New Hampshire or Massachusetts. It's only Maine.
nice. It sounds nice. I've never been to Maine, but it sounds beautiful.
It is. It is. Like we went. My wife and I went once, and this was the best trip ever. Just like the experience, being able to be on a lake and just waking up to cooler weathers in the middle of summer. It's just amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think we all miss these travel moments.
I
Yeah.
know, totally. Does anybody else want to chime in? We have Jennifer said mountains because it's been so long since she's been to Colorado.
And Jenny said, growing up, my family always went to Maine every summer. Maine equals the beach for me. I actually been to Arcadia, and they have a nice beach in Arcadia. So you got the mountains and the beach. So see, Megan, we can go to Maine together, and like it'd be perfect for us because you get the
Do you know
beach.
how cold it is in Maine?
In the
I
middle
went
of
there in
summer,
August and it was still cold.
okay, okay. Define cold. You actually like define.
Listen, it was 60 degrees here today and I was wearing fleece pant leggings and like a sweatshirt. I can't do the cold
I don't
anymore.
get it. I only wore a sweatshirt one day here, and it's been in the 20s and 30s.
I don't know. But anyway, well, thank you all for joining us tonight. We have our weekly meeting with me starting in a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and close us out for this one. And then hopefully some of you, if you're an influencer or trailblazer, will join us for our weekly chat tonight on intervention. So, oh yes, Penny, can the next We'll Decide Wednesday, cold or warm? So I got Penny made that suggestion, and then Kirby, I got your suggestions too. So I'll add those to the wheel for next time. All right, everyone.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys. Go forth and do better.